everyone, I wanted to apologise. The previous video cut out on me rather prematurely towards the end. And here I am again. You might be wondering why I look a bit different to how I was in the previous video. And that's because I am officially unmasked. In the previous video, I was wearing my work clothes. You might think that's rather silly, because you might think, well, hang on a minute, I'm not actually at work. I'm not at work, am I? But I'm in my home. But actually, to me, socialising is work. So I actually have this uniform, my kind of uniform for socialising. And it's not like a proper uniform, like say, a sort of uniform people might wear when they're what you might think of as a uniform. But it is still a kind of uniform, because I put my clothes into different sets according to when I'm in social mode, which to me is work mode, or when I'm not in social mode. And currently I am not in social mode. I'm in my normal me self, yeah. So I feel like cool, yeah, me. So it feels quite relaxed. So so that's why basically I look a bit different. It's the same day, it's not a different day. So, the previous video cut out of me just as I was about to read from a very interesting historic document. This is the Baby Diary. I wrote this when I was about 12 or 13 years old. And I'm going to read a little bit to you, because this just shows you how obsessed I was. I used to follow people with babies down a high street, and I used to take detailed notes in this diary. It was a real analysis of the baby. So I'm just going to find a little bit to read out to you. Bear with me. Right, just take a bit at random. Okay. This was August 2001. A toddler, although not a very young toddler, with short yellow toddler hair in the toddler style, sitting in one of those plastic seats that you put on a grown-up chair. Mother and father there, and two boys. One young boy with yellow hair and one older, although quite a young boy, with yellow hair. Let's find another little bit. I think I've got some more at the back here. Find it. Oh yes. I saw a baby with large blue staring eyes in mother's arms in West Loo. This was when we were on holiday in Cornwall. There was a three-wheeler there. The baby had a red hood on. It was then passed into father's arms. It was around 4 or nearly 4 months old. It wore socks. And although I did not note this down, there was a blanket around it, as it was carried by the mother and then father, and there was a bit of bare leg above the socks. I smiled at the baby, and it seemed to be staring at me, with its large blue staring eyes. The baby then made some noises, and then started to lightly cry. It was passed back into the mother's arms, and they walked off. See if I've got some more. It does go on and on and on, by the way. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you today. So I'll just read. Before I don't get really bored. But it is a very, very long diary. I also used to draw little pictures of babies as well. That's just a sketch of one I saw, just so I can remind myself of what it looked like. I wrote fine hair, flannel bib, pink. I can't read that. Pink something. Oh yeah, pink outfit. Mother holding roll to eat. Baby held a plastic bag for a while. That's the sort of notes I've kept. And also, because I used to read parenting magazines, I've already told you. I also used to write the name of each baby in the magazine, because at the back of the magazine they always had a kind of baby diary about babies that were born, and the mother would keep a kind of diary of the baby and its development. So in each magazine you'd see how it developed, and so I used to keep a note of this. So I wrote the date, it was born if it was applicable, in very small writing there. The name of the baby, for example, Ellie Mae Sylvester. The details, the facial features if applicable. Things like, for example, I wrote incomings in the incomings section. For example, for Ellie Mae Sylvester, the mother used a TENS machine and pethidine. And then the outgoings, so she got colic, and she was born at 4:16 p.m. and 5 pound 8 ounces. So I used to write all that down, and so it goes on and on, a few of those. This one here, so on Luwaki Beach by the coast path, I saw a young small boy toddler with yellow Kate Winslet baby's hair, because everything was linked back to Kate Winslet, as I talked about in the earlier video. His obsession all came out because Kate Winslet had a baby, basically. Although I was kind of interested in babies to begin with, I remember I was always quite interested in sort of biology and stuff, so. Blonde looking, wearing red cotton, slightly baggy trousers with blue drawings on it, and it also wore a small green fleece jumper. Near the toddler was a proper small pushchair with a baby asleep in it in cosy toes, which is a bit like a hard cotton integral blanket, like half of a sleeping bag. There were 4 other quite young children there too, with a bucket and spade. A grey-haired lady was with them. One of the other children, the only girl, wore a pink dress and a coat. My brother Martin liked it when... when we... Hang on, sorry. Got a bit off there, couldn't read it. When we had walked a few miles down a coast path, we came to a small village where I saw a young boy and girl on a quite rocky beach there. They were with their parents. The girl who had shoulder-length yellow hair and who wore pink leggings and who wore buckle shoes was crying as they shortly afterwards came off the beach. It was a whinging cry, but she stopped crying when they got an older baby or very young toddler out of the car. The baby had a full head of thick for baby yellow hair. The baby wore proper buckle shoes. The mother held the baby in her arms. The baby wore a black and white stripy shirt and blue denim trousers, which left a bit of bare leg before the baby's shoes. The baby had pale blue eyes. As the baby's shirt was quite short-sleeved, I saw its bare arm and hands. The mother and father, with a young boy and girl and a baby which the mother was carrying, walked towards the cafe to find it was not open, so they came back. The mother said something in a singy voice to the baby and bounced it a bit in her arms. Although I've not written this down on my paper, if I remember rightly, the baby was half covered by the mother's coat, so I saw a bit of the baby's denim blue trousers. They all got back in the car. When the car drove off, I did not note this down, I saw the baby, a young toddler, sitting in the back of the car with the girl and boy. The young boy also had yellow hair. So it goes on and on and on. So that's just one, I hasten to add, of my many baby spotting diaries. Just to show you the intensity, because it was an extremely intense obsession. When we talk about obsessions, it was really intense. Obviously at the time, this was way before I got diagnosed with Asperger's. So I didn't know why. It just was part of me. So you don't question these things, do you? It's just part of your normality. So that I'll talk about this more in other videos. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed listening.